Hello boys and girls, Ultimate Hero here. Welcome to Character Analysis. Today we have Teddie, or Kuma in the Japanese version of the game. So, Teddie, let's just get straight into this. So, Teddie, his personality. He is a comic relief character, but then again, all the characters are in their own way, in their own regards. They all have their fair share of that spotlight, but it mostly goes on Teddie and Yosuke the most. Usually, well, really, it's just the guys in general. None of the girls have the most, though I would argue Yukiko or Rise would have the most among the females. But anyway, Teddie, he's a very optimistic character, to say the least, and he's also very, as a lot of people say, he's adorable, which it's understandable. I can see why people like him a lot, and he's the optimist, and usually is the one among the team, along with Rise, to try and cheer up everybody. Though they say Chie does that, I really see more or less Rise and Teddie, because they're the optimistic characters of the whole team. He idolizes main character a lot, and calls him Sensei. And now, this is a bit of a thing that's kind of irrelevant, slightly, but Japanese version, he usually adds the verbal tick, or as that's what they call it, but it's really, I call it a pronoun. The pronoun Kuma at the end of everything he says, mostly. Now, let's go back to Naoto. Naoto a lot would also go back to, like to say, Boku a lot. If you actually try to pay attention to, like, if you watch the anime or the game, you might try to count how many times you hear Boku every time she has, like, this long little speech. She uses Boku to say I, which I believe I actually explained that, so, and it's supposed to be Watashi, but that's kind of a little prefix that Naoto has. If you watch Naruto in the Japanese version, Naruto would say Datebayo, which I think means you know in Japanese, at the end of everything he says. That's his, and so in Teddie's case, Teddie has Kuma. He also likes to make bear puns somewhat in the Japanese version, so in the English version they actually did that. But his speech was filled with lots of bear puns, especially, like, let's think, bearific, or this land is so barren, or Bearsona, to name a few. Bearsona's not that bad when you think about it. Yeah, some can be bearable, others can be a pain, but yeah. Well, anyway, that's really all you can really think about in his personality. At first he doesn't have much of one, but as you progress through the game, he starts to develop one. So that's why you can argue you can call him Aegis of the game, because Aegis started with no personality, and then as the game progresses, in Persona 3, she gets her own, or develops one. So this would be the same case with Teddie. So that's why those two are very similar in a sense, aside from them both being coincidentally blonde. So next is, why does this character have the Arcana, and what parts of the character's personality fit into this? Teddie represents Star perfectly. If I had to argue which character fits their Arcana perfectly, I would say Teddie does most perfectly. Star is as simple as it is. It represents hope, faith, inspiration, optimism, insight, spiritual love, pleasure, and balance. So, and as I already said, Teddie is the epitome of optimism among the male party members. However, reverse is when reverse represent. Or we'll get to the explanations of reverse when we get to the shadow. But anyway, Star, in a nutshell, it basically represents also pessimism and defeat and depression. And Teddie, when he's sad, he spirals down. He basically crashes. He falls down faster than the stock market. The crash of 1929, I believe it's 1929. Don't hold me for it. Yeah, it goes down that quickly. When he gets sad, he gets depressed. Reminds me of a friend of mine. But that's some reasons in a nutshell as to why he fits into that perfectly. If anything, I say he fits his Arcana the best. Next is the character Shadow and some of the symbolism. We're getting to these some pretty quickly. However, that might change now. This character Shadow, Teddie's Shadow specifically, is one of the more complicated ones in my opinion, just because I thought it was an issue, it was just a little error, but no, he is Reverse Moon when you fight him, which he should be Reverse Star because that's the Arcana he gets. Now I don't know why they stuck with Moon, because Reverse Moon doesn't really, or it kinda does make sense, but Upright even makes sense, because, okay, Among the latter Arcana cards, Death, Devil, Tower, Somewhat Star, and Moon. They are very negative cards, whether they're upright or reverse. They're usually bad things in the end. And to go with Moon specifically, Moon and upright represents deception, trickery, disillusionment, error, danger, disgrace, and double dealing. Now, the first few that I said, well, specifically deception and disillusionment, and danger represent that shadow perfectly, because he's saying that where is the truth? You don't even know what is the truth and all that. You know, just saying to them that you don't know what you're looking for, trying to trick them into giving up, or just also discourage them. But reverse Moon means deception is discovered. Wait, did I actually say it? No, if I didn't say reverse already, I'll say it again. Deception is discovered before damage can be done, trifling mistakes, and taking advantage of someone. So in this case, Shadow Teddie was trying to take advantage of the team, which makes somewhat sense from what I'm how I'm thinking about it right now. And he is trying to deceive them, but what's the point? Because he decides, hey, I'm going to kill you anyway. Enough of this, I'm going to kill everyone in this room. So, and then let's look at Reverse Star. Reverse Star means unfulfilled hope, disappointment, dreams are crushed, bad luck, and imbalance. Teddie's hopes are crushed at some point, or a couple of times in the game. The first time being at the shadow, and the other time being near the end, where he disappears for that while. He feels that ever since, well, I'm pretty sure you all know the event, but I'm gonna hide it a little anyway. December 3rd, after December 3rd, yeah, at that point he disappears. All his hopes were crushed. He went faster. He went down faster than the stock market, as I said earlier. So it's really hard for me to explain this one, because he falls under both Reverse Star and Reverse Moon. The game says Reverse Moon, but he should fall under Reverse Star. It just makes much more sense. So I've already explained both, and well, there's more to him actually when you think about it. It represents how he's depressed and feels trapped inside the hole. Hence why you see like inside his head, or beyond the inside his head. You notice how it's completely like a black void, and in the anime it tries to suck up everything, just to show how empty it is, like a black hole. Which just shows how empty he is, and he doesn't know what he is or what his purpose in life is. Now, following this, Shadow Teddie, he represents the idea of nihilism, or nihilism. I don't know if it's nihilism or nihilism. I'm calling it nihilism. But nihilism argues that life has no purpose, meaning, or truth, denying what most would hold to be true as one big illusion. Hence why the Shadow was saying earlier. And also, remember, I was also basing this on the fact that his signature attack is Nihil Hand, which I believe is instant kill unless you guard. Now, there might be some symbolism in that, or maybe you could say the symbolism would be that if you're guarding, that means you're rejecting that idea, and because you're rejecting that idea, it has no effect on you. But just basically whatever Shadow Teddie was saying, it shows the impression of nihilism, and the attack just like indefinitely proves it. So yeah, but of course, him as a boss, it's pretty bad. He's pretty brutal. So after that, we go into the character's revelations, or what happens at his socialing. Now, honestly, the majority of the rank ups, they just happen throughout the plot. A couple of them involved with his character development, but most of them are just really for fun. Usually the filler times where you get a rank up. Now, but of course, you actually do see Teddie progress through, and eventually, with your help, you're able to push him back out of that depression, and that's when he realizes that, okay, when you think about it, all the characters, as I've already said, I think in the past video, I'll say it again, and I'm probably going to be saying it every time, every character has something that every person can relate to. Just Kanji. Kanji's wish is for people to accept him. Naoto's, you could say, is to accept herself. And same especially with Teddie, but I will argue that that's how every character is. It's just more or less somewhat described more with Naoto and more described with Teddie. But anyway, Shadow, or not, when am I saying Shadow? Naoto's desire is to be needed by people. Risei's desire, as we just said in the last video, is to be noticed by people. Or, yeah, really, just as I said, noticed by people. So Shadow... God damn it, not again. So Teddie's desire is the desire to be to discover what you can about yourself, or everything you can about yourself. So Teddie wants to know who he is and what his purpose in life. Now that's something we all want to know in life. So this will go into how I relate to him, and that's the only thing really. So throughout the game, you kind of help give him that sense of purpose, but then after November happens, he starts to feel useless, especially on December 3rd, where Yosuke was like also pressured, like, hey, this all happened in your world, right? You need to think of something, and he's trying to. So because of some of the team with their emotions going haywire like his, he started to feel like he was useless again, when he thought he had purpose, and especially because he felt that he couldn't live up to his promise anymore, he felt that he was useless again. That's why he tried to go back and live and become a regular Shadow, which, if you get a bad ending, he will. But if you get a good ending, he won't be, and he'll realize that he has importance, just being there for everybody. That's all that really matters. So through your help, you'll get him out of that depression, and you'll prove to him that he is needed among everybody. So now that goes to my final opinion of him and how I relate to Teddie. This was actually really short. I just get to the point really quickly. That's really good. So anyway, my final opinion of Teddie. Teddie, if I had to be honest, he's one of my least favorite male characters. Well, he is the least favorite male character. I'm not saying he's bad. No character in the Persona series is bad. If you do not like them, that's probably because you're misunderstanding them, or you choose not to. And if you just choose not to, you're a dumbass. And definitely the bad kind of stubborn. No character is bad in Persona, so I'm not saying Teddie is bad. Teddie's a nice character, and he develops the personality. You see him grow as well as your own character. But anyway, Teddie, how do I put it? He's interesting, yet at the same time he will get on my nerves. But, you know, without him, the team would be kind of incomplete. Well, really without anybody. But especially him. I feel he's a bigger piece to the whole team, surprisingly. Maybe that's because he's kind of the mascot character. He's probably he's my least favorite male character because I relate the least to him. The only thing I really relate to with him is, as what is set notice in that Revelations, the desire to know all of oneself. Now, I've already said with Kanji, and this is what I feel I strongly relate to him, to be accepted by people. The majority of people on the internet here should sympathize with Kanji in that regard. But, and my least favorite female character, which I would thought was Risei, when I really think about it, it's Naoto. No, wait for it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm about to be killed by the Naoto fanbase. My god, Naoto. Naoto Shirogane, Naotako, Naotots. No, I don't care about Naoto that much. She's not a bad character, but she's my least favorite female. I prefer the other three. Yep, even Chie. Though really, Chie's not that far off ahead of Naoto. So, her and Naoto are among my least favorite. Chie is really cute. Risei, optimistic, and I like that a lot. I'm not saying Chie isn't. Chie is optimistic too, but I like Risei's optimism more, even though at times it can be overbearing for me. And, of course, you already know I love waifu. Yukiko is amazing. I don't know why some people dislike her. Or dislike any character in general, but especially her. But, yeah, that's kind of going off a bit off topic. Anyway, that's really all I can say about Teddie. Nothing much, it's just simple. I can relate to him only in that regard. So this was a surprisingly short video because, well, let's just get straight to the point with Teddie. We don't need to mince words with him or anybody, but his was surprisingly simple to explain. So, for halfway done, I've got the first years out of the way and Teddie. Now all that's left are the second years. Next characters are Chie, then Yosuke, then waifu, and then main character to end it all. Which his might be the hardest to explore, the longest to explain, perhaps. We shall see. So, that's it for Teddie. Tell me what you think about him. And anyway, next time I'm going to explain Chie, which Chie could be a little difficult, but after Chie, it should be very easy for me to explain the rest of the team. So, if you like the video, leave a comment about what you think about Teddie or whatever. Like the video, and if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe. But yeah, that's really all I could say about Teddie. I hope you like him. I think he's an interesting character. I'm not a big fan of him, but I won't deny he's a very essential piece to the team. Him and Rise go along hand in hand, just because of how just their optimism keeps the team. It prevents them from going down, basically. But yeah, that's really about all I can say about Teddie. So yeah, till next video, stay gold.